and Andreessen.
Constitutional. Will the Pledge of Allegiance be outlawed? A new corporate super scandal. WorldCom on the verge of collapse because of more accounting hijinks. Promises, promises. Politicians talk about cutting drug prices for seniors, but is action finally coming? And Eye on America. Embryo adoption is a dream come true for many couples, but critics see a legal nightmare.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan is on assignment tonight. I'm John Roberts. American currency may declare that in God we trust, and we may sing God Bless America at the ballpark. But a federal appeals court in San Francisco ruled today that children in U.S. public schools should not recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Why? Because of two words inserted into the pledge when Dwight Eisenhower was president. The words, "under God," which the court said today violate the constitutional separation of church and state. Correspondent John Blackstone has more on this highly controversial ruling.
I pledge allegiance.
For generations, it is the way the school day has begun. But a federal appeals court says two little words make it unconstitutional.
Under God.
The words "under God" in the Pledge of Allegiance violate the separation of church and state, says the ruling by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. It is no different, the court says, than declaring a nation under Vishnu, a nation under Zeus, or a nation under no God. The reaction today has been swift and emotional.
The president's reaction was that this ruling is ridiculous.
Late today, Republicans in Congress marched out to recite the pledge.
One nation, under God, indivisible.
At the center of the storm is the man who challenged the pledge in court, Michael Newdow, an atheist from Sacramento, California.
This is obviously a big issue, and it would be nice if the people who were so convinced that we should have God in our pledge would realize it's also a big issue for the people who don't want God in our pledge.
Newdow challenged the right of his daughter's school to have students recite the pledge daily, even though his daughter was not required to join in.
I have the right to raise her free from government imposing its religion on her.
But across the country today, many blame Newdow for imposing his views on everyone else.
It shows hostility towards people of faith who constitute 96% of our population who believe in God.
The offending words "under God" were added to the pledge in 1954 when Eisenhower was president and America was doing battle against atheistic communism.
Many people, I believe, thought that this matter had long ago been decided the other way. And now the issue has been revived again.
The court that has revived the issue, the Ninth Circuit, based here in San Francisco, is known for its liberal opinions, and those opinions have frequently been overturned by the Supreme Court, which is undoubtedly where this case is headed. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
A short time ago, I discussed this ruling with constitutional law expert and CBS News consultant Andrew Cohen. I asked him if this means that schools must immediately end recitation of the pledge.
Well, in California, it could mean that, but certainly not across the country. The immediate impact is the case goes back to the trial court. The trial judge has to do some procedural things. The whole issue may or may not get resolved before school, but it won't affect any other circuit, any other school, aside from the Ninth Circuit schools, California, Oregon, Washington.
The Ninth Circuit is the most liberal court in the land. It's also the most overturned court in the land by the Supreme Court. How do you think that history is going to play into this case as it goes forward?
Well, I think the two judges who form the majority here are aware of that, and they're anticipating that this case is going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court, and I think that's why they focus so heavily on recent Supreme Court decisions. It's almost as if, John, they're saying to the Supreme Court, look, if you're going to overturn us in this case, you're also going to have to overturn yourselves and your prior decisions.
Judge Fernandez, in his dissent, said, in effect, God bless America and America the beautiful, beware. Does this open the door to further litigation for any national reference with God in it?
Yeah, I don't think so, and I think the reason for that is the main support for this decision is a congressional statute from 1954 that essentially required "under God" to be placed in the Pledge of Allegiance. The court today said, look, without that statute, we don't come down the way that we do, and I think obviously God Bless America doesn't have the statutory support behind it.
Andrew Cohen in Denver, thanks.
Sure.
Another huge American company is threatened with bankruptcy tonight, thanks to what may be the biggest case of cooking the books in history. Mississippi-based WorldCom Incorporated, a communications colossus operating in 65 countries, says its top managers were shocked to discover billions in deliberately misreported expenses. The admission also shocked the stock market in early trading, but the CBS Market Watch shows the Dow closed down less than 7 points and the NASDAQ gained 5. Correspondent Richard Schlesinger has more on the WorldCom wreck.
And you thought Enron was bad. The funny money hide-and-seek game at that company allegedly involved only $1 billion and change. WorldCom played around with about $4 billion, making this potentially one of the largest cases of financial fraud in history.
It's one thing when accountants say they couldn't have picked up $1 million here or there between friends, but how do you miss $4 billion?
The company listed close to $4 billion of everyday expenses as capital expenses, which under the rules of accounting don't drag down earnings quite as much. So while the company initially reported a profit, it will now report losses in the millions. The board of directors discovered all this and promptly fired Chief Financial Officer Scott Sullivan. The company said it was shocked. Investors were appalled.
The first call I got was from one of my customers and friends and traders overseas, and their immediate reaction was, these are the types of things that we see in third world countries. We don't expect them out of the United States of America.
WorldCom is an immense company, one of the most widely held in the country, that controls, among other things, MCI, the nation's second largest long-distance phone company. It also owns a huge internet network carrying e-commerce and other transactions. The company plans to lay off 17,000 people starting this Friday, but analysts say the company will still be near bankruptcy.
I think they have enough cash for the next month or two or few quarters, but at this point, with the announcement that came out last night, it's hard to know what their true financials are.
The WorldCom drama has some of the same players as the Enron saga. In both cases, the auditors who were supposed to keep an eye on the money came from Arthur Andersen, the firm that was just convicted for shredding all those documents. The plot in both these stories seems to have been the same. Cook the books, fool the investors.
I'm out there taking a leap of faith, looking at companies, doing my homework, and hoping I make the right investment decisions. If you don't have the right information, how can you make the right decision?
Well, the SEC decided late today to file a fraud case against WorldCom in federal court. And the Justice Department says the matter is under review. WorldCom is used to getting a lot of attention, but from investors, not investigators. John.
Richard Schlesinger reporting for us tonight. Richard, thanks. President Bush calls the WorldCom scandal, quote, outrageous. At an economic summit in Canada today, Mr. Bush said many corporate leaders are abusing their responsibilities, and he vowed that at WorldCom, quote, people will be held accountable. But as correspondent Russ Mitchell reports, that may not be enough to restore investor confidence in the stock market.
Jeremy Schneider planned to ride a booming stock market to save cash for a home. Not anymore.
We lost some of the money that we had worked hard to save. To the money that we have been able to save is growing at a very, very slow rate.
Investors nationwide spent today reeling over the WorldCom scandal and taking stock of a shaky market.
Chase Bank, 4,005 sold.
Investment houses are reporting a brisk business from those looking to take their money out of the market.
We've done a lot of business in plain old no vanilla CDs, regular money markets, and a lot of short-term treasuries.
The buzzword from financial planners is diversify. Investors like Fred Galarraga, who took a big hit in the NASDAQ, are listening.
It's almost like a roll of the dice. It's very risky right now.
As a result, Americans are putting their money in homes. New home sales were up 8.1% last month. Money markets, only promising a return of 2 to 3%, are popular again. And some are converting those stocks into cold cash, banking on playing it safe. But analysts say consumers shouldn't panic.
People are frantic. You know, there were people who years ago wanted to put 100% in the market, and I had to talk them out of that, and now they want to take everything out. And you've got to kind of calm down and look at the overall picture.
Jeremy Schneider says it will take a lot to get him back in the market.
I need to feel confident that there aren't other Enrons or WorldComs or Andersons out there.
Analysts say investors have to understand the days of overnight 20% returns on stocks are over. And these days, it pays to be realistic. Russ Mitchell, CBS News, New York.
While WorldCom was today's dominant business story, there was plenty of other financial news. The Federal Reserve Board announced it will leave a benchmark interest rate unchanged at a 40-year low, assuring continued low consumer borrowing rates, especially for mortgages. And federal prosecutors reportedly have widened their insider trading investigation of celebrity homemaker Martha Stewart. The Wall Street Journal says the probe now includes a possible cover-up. Turning now to the Middle East, at the summit in Canada today, President Bush said he has given up on Yasser Arafat. But in the West Bank, Arafat announced new Palestinian elections for next January and declared he will run. Elsewhere, Israeli troops pounded a Palestinian Authority compound in Hebron. The Israelis say dozens of wanted militants are still holed up inside that compound. It's the Wednesday edition of the CBS Evening News, and up next, the newest wildfire casualty. No fire insurance for homes in the woods. And Eye on America, the birth of a big controversy over what advocates call embryo adoption.
I am one of the many people.
We used to think they're frequent, persistent heartburn.
It's just plain old heartburn.
But if you've treated your heartburn, changed your diet, and the pain still comes back 2 or more days a week, it could be from acid reflux disease.
And over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Today, there's a purple pill called Nexium from the makers of Prilosec. For many people, 1 prescription Nexium a day means complete
24-hour.
Day and night heartburn relief.
And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can tell if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and a free trial offer for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn. Heal the damage. It's possible with today's purple pill called Nexium.
Oh no, here it comes. Big time neck pain.
Ow!
Yeah, the kind that makes you want to throw in the towel. What, are you going to feel sorry for yourself?
Oh.
Or grab a Thermacare, that new air-activated heat wrap. Open it up, it gets warm and stays warm for 8 hours.
Oh.
Deeply relaxing tight muscles. So, circulation flows in, helping pain flow out.
Ooh.
Can you dig it? New Thermacare heat wraps. Find them in the pain reliever aisle.
Yeah!
Do you know the warning signs of osteoporosis? Unfortunately, there aren't any. It's a silent disease with no symptoms unless a bone breaks. So ask your doctor about a painless bone density test. And if Fosamax is right for you. Fosamax is for postmenopausal women at risk for or with osteoporosis. It's proven to help reverse bone loss. Increases in bone mass were seen as early as 3 months. And Fosamax has a convenient once-weekly tablet. You should not use Fosamax if you have certain disorders of the esophagus, are unable to stand or sit upright for 30 minutes, have severe kidney disease or low blood calcium. Use with caution if you have stomach or digestive problems. Stop taking Fosamax and tell your doctor if you develop new or worsening heartburn, difficult or painful swallowing, or chest pain, because these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. 1 pill a week can help reverse bone loss and strengthen bone. Discover Fosamax once weekly, proven to help reverse bone loss.
There's no rest for the weary firefighter tonight in the American West. Fast-moving flames are threatening more homes around Durango, Colorado, where a major fire has already consumed more than 65,000 acres. But the worst in the West by far is the Mammoth wildfire in eastern Arizona, which has charred 410,000 acres and counting. Firefighters have managed to keep the wall of flame outside the town of Show Low, but they fear lightning could ignite new fires. In all, 18 major wildfires are burning tonight, and with 400 homes lost in the Arizona fires alone, there's a new worry for homeowners in parts of the West, even those untouched by the current disaster. As Cynthia Bowers reports from Colorado, hopes of getting insurance are going up in smoke.
Keith and Pauline Jones hope to be moving into their Rocky Mountain dream house today. But they're not, and for reasons they say they could never have imagined.
We were upset, disappointed, every emotion you could really think of.
When Colorado's largest ever fire broke out, many insurance companies stopped writing new homeowners policies. And without insurance, home buyers like the Joneses can't close the deal. Across the West, anywhere wildfires are pushing forward, insurance companies are pulling back. And not just near the fire lines. Rusty Robeson got turned down for coverage on a house in a Denver suburb.
They said, well, all the fires that are going on. I said, oh, wait. We're not up in the mountains. We're not even close to the fires.
That didn't matter. It's gotten so bad, Colorado's insurance commissioner, William Kervin, recently sent 100 companies this letter, pleading with them to keep issuing insurance after he found out many had stopped. Insurers say the cutbacks are temporary, but admit the long-term outlook is hazy. An industry spokesperson says homeowners' policies were already a losing proposition long before the fires flared.
You see some of the big companies in a lot of states saying, be able to serve the customers we already have, we can't be taking in new business.
An insurance crunch could affect countless Americans. In Colorado alone over the last 10 years, the population in the fire danger zone has increased 30% to nearly 1 million people, and more new homes are going up every day.
Good luck to you.
Remember the Joneses? They're buying their house from the Olsons, who can't move either.
That's bad when you think you got something sold and everything falls apart.
With so many lives in limbo already this fire season, it's likely the problem of balancing protection and profit will linger long after the fire is gone. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Divide, Colorado.
Next up on tonight's CBS Evening News, new moves in Congress on prescription drug coverage for seniors. Bob Schieffer will have the real deal for you.
If you have osteoarthritis, there's reason to celebrate. It's Celebrex.
Celebrate, celebrate, come on and celebrate.
Celebrex targets only the COX-2 enzyme, a key source of arthritis pain. Celebrex relieves arthritis pain plus inflammation and stiffness too.
Celebrate, celebrate, come on and celebrate.
Celebrex should not be taken if you've had aspirin-sensitive asthma or allergic reactions due to aspirin or other arthritis medicines, or certain drugs called sulfonamides. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems.
Celebrate, celebrate.
Powerful 24-hour relief from osteoarthritis pain, inflammation, and stiffness. Ask your doctor about prescription Celebrex.
Celebrate, celebrate, come on and celebrate.
To cure athlete's foot with 1 week's use, look for Lamisil AT. No matter which Lamisil AT you buy, you only have to treat for 1 week. All these Lotrimin AF products take 4 weeks use. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
I've always had the will to win. It's what drives me to do more. And when it comes to your health, you can do more. A medicine called Altase can help. I take it for high blood pressure, but it may also help you in a different, important way. If you're 55 or older and have had a heart attack or stroke or have diabetes, plus another risk factor, you can do more.
When added to existing medications, Altase was clinically proven to further reduce the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cardiovascular death. Prescription Altase is not for everyone. Altase may cause swelling of the mouth, tongue, or throat, which could cause extremely serious risk and requires immediate medical care. Common side effects include persistent dry cough, dizziness, and lightheadedness due to low blood pressure. Do not take Altase during pregnancy, as death or injury to your unborn child may result, or if you've experienced serious side effects related to previous ACE inhibitors.
You can do more. Go ahead. Ask your doctor about Altase.
Tough heartburn? Try Extra Strength Mylanta. Nothing's faster or more soothing than Extra Strength Mylanta, the liquidator.
The Pledge of Allegiance. An American court says it's unconstitutional. So what now? We'll take a closer look at the ruling tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
There is no link between using birth control pills and a higher risk of breast cancer later in life. That conclusion tonight from the most comprehensive medical review yet. The finding was true even for women with a family history of breast cancer and for those women who took early versions of the pill which contained high doses of the drug estrogen. In Washington, House Republicans are preparing to unveil their version of a prescription drug insurance plan for millions of older Americans. The question is, will this or any other drug plan for seniors pass Congress before Election Day? Bob Schieffer has a dose of reality, medical and political.
Prescription drug costs are escalating at double-digit rates.
We're seeing higher and higher out-of-pocket costs.
Our seniors are suffering.
You can't go far at the Capitol without hearing. Congress is in agreement. A way must be found to help seniors pay the high cost of prescription drugs. A Democrat.
It is evil for an older person to not pay their rent because they need the medicine.
A Republican.
Seniors need prescription drugs now.
This has become such a hot issue that a Maine Senate candidate, Shelley Pingree, is handing out a talking pill bottle that makes the case for her. Just listen.
In the United States Senate, I will make lower-priced medication my priority, and I'll be fighting for you.
And they all have a solution. More than 40 plans have been introduced so far. The president's idea, funnel $190 billion to Medicare to help the very poor. House Republicans have another idea. They'll be voting soon on a $350 billion plan to subsidize low-cost insurance to buy drugs. The Democrats' plan is simpler. Make drugs available through Medicare. But it's a lot more expensive, $450 to $800 billion. So where is all this talk going? In a word, nowhere. Democrats want no part of the House Republican plan, and
there's no chance that the House would pass the Senate plan.
Republican leader Dick Armey says that's because
I think it becomes too costly. We already have a really, really big worry about the long-term solvency of Medicare.
Democrats say the Republican plan simply isn't enough.
We want to be flexible, but we want to make it meaningful.
So as seniors head off to the drugstore, they shouldn't pay too much attention to the talk from Washington. The drug companies are lobbying hard, and the two sides are so far apart, it's all but certain that once again, nothing will be done. Bob Schieffer, CBS News at the Capitol.
The first of 20,000 new gas masks arrived today on Capitol Hill, where they'll be stockpiled in case of chemical or biological attack. The Capitol Police Chief demonstrated the escape hoods intended to protect lawmakers, staffers, and tourists until they can be evacuated. Next up on the CBS Evening News, Eye on America. Meet the parents. They're testing the limits of medicine and the law on adoption and abortion rights.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by Tylenol PM. To ease your nighttime pain and help you sleep safely, rest easy. It's Tylenol PM.
There's nothing like a great night's sleep. I can get an early start in the morning and go out and do something just for me.
Tylenol PM stops your nighttime pain and helps you sleep so you can wake up refreshed.
It's a really good feeling.
My darling Jeffrey, I miss you so much. I can't stand the thought of another lonely night. When will I see your beautiful brown eyes again? I love you with every fiber of my being. Your dearest love, Annabelle.
80% less paperwork, only from Bank of America.
I take batting practice. I take infield practice. I take Viagra.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? Ask your doctor if a free sample's right for you and visit Viagra.com for more information.
Step up to the plate and make an appointment to see your doctor.
The reason you see so many new Oldsmobiles in traffic is because tens of thousands of people continue to buy them. And right now, you can get $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 in consumer cash on new 2002 Oldsmobiles, plus the confidence of the General Motors Protection Plan. Are you in the market? Get in an Oldsmobile, backed by GM. Be adventurous. Be plugged in. Be involved. Be powerful. Be yourself. Because it's your choice, your voice, and your attitude. Today's AARP.
Wish your dentures were this comfortable? Bob's denture adhesive is C-Bond, a thin, soft wafer that clings wall-to-wall with 3 adhesives. No gaps, no ooze. C-Bond. Buy it for whole.
Love it for comfort.
Criminals not doing jail time. The Portland police chief is furious with the sheriff. The story at 6.
In treating infertility, there's a new option that some people call embryo adoption, and it's the subject of tonight's Eye on America. Sandra Hughes explains how it has given birth to a huge debate over the laws governing adoptions and abortions.
There you go. Good shot.
Infertility didn't stop this California couple from creating a family. They adopted both of their children, but daughter Michaela came by way of special delivery. Embryo adoption.
I just thought, oh, wow, that's just too good to be true. As an adoptive mom, being able to carry my child, you know, that was just the ultimate dream, to be able to be pregnant.
Sharon's dream was realized through Snowflakes, the nation's first and only embryo adoption agency.
So our first adopting mom who gave birth was in California.
J.D. Iman helps run the nationwide program, which pairs infertile couples with frozen embryos left over from the infertility treatments of others. Snowflake's staff demands references, home interviews, and criminal background checks of prospective parents, steps usually reserved for the adoption of children.
Why do you treat it as an adoption? Because the same safeguards and protections are in place as that we would have for any other child. And if this isn't a bouncing baby, it will be a bouncing baby in 9 months.
Embryo donation has been quietly taking place on a small scale for years, but it's usually under the direction of doctors and clinics and not adoption agencies. That's why embryo adoption has become a lightning rod issue in the abortion debate. Abortion rights advocates see danger in giving an embryo the same status as a living child.
It's part of this larger trend we see of attempting to endow the embryo with personhood status for the purposes of denying women their right to reproductive freedom and choice.
Is this about a political debate? It's really not. I mean, when we started the program to address the needs of these children who needed homes.
But there is no denying Snowflakes would like to see legal status given to embryos. Already 5 states have laws governing embryo donation, and in one state, Louisiana, it's illegal to dispose of unwanted embryos. So far, Snowflake's embryo adoption program has produced 15 babies. Their goal is to find homes for the estimated 200,000 frozen embryos nationwide. Homes like Sharon and Larry's, where there is no debating how lucky they feel to have Michaela. It's how she was brought into their home that will continue to stir controversy. In Tustin, California, this is Sandra Hughes for Eye on America.
The new frontier of medicine and the law. And that's our report for this Wednesday night. Now here's correspondent Vicki Mabry with a preview of tonight's edition of 60 Minutes 2.
What happens when you've been falsely accused of being a terrorist? The man accused of being Atlanta's Olympic bomber tells Mike Wallace. Plus, what would you do if your child suffered from a deadly disease? What this father did was extraordinary.
60 Minutes 2 tonight at 8, 7 Central. For Dan Rather and the CBS Evening News, I'm John Roberts, CBS News in New York. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
For news 24 hours a day, go to cbsnews.com. AOL keyword CBS News. Is the Pledge of Allegiance really unconstitutional? A report tomorrow. Experience CBS News. Now, live from Coin Center, this is Coin 6 News at 6.
A busy Vancouver street is shut down tonight as investigators piece together a deadly accident that smashed 2 cars between a bus and a flatbed trailer.
A house explodes while the homeowners sleep. Tonight, a whole neighborhood in Aloha wants to know what happened.
And Portland's police chief is fired up about the county's crowded jails. Hear why the sheriff says that he has his hands tied. Good evening and welcome to Coin 6 News at 6. I'm Karen Adams.
I'm Jeff Ginola. Glad you're with us, everyone. A veteran police officer calls it an ugly accident. 2 cars end up smashed between a C-Tran bus and a flatbed truck. It happened near 4th Point in Andreessen in Vancouver this afternoon.
Let's switch now to Eric Taylor, who joins us from the accident scene where the investigation is now underway. Eric?
Well, Jeff, the vehicles have been removed, and as you mentioned, the investigation is now underway, just getting going. Altogether, the accident involved 7 vehicles. The driver of the silver truck in front of the bus was dead on arrival. 10 others were taken to the hospital. Details are still being worked out. Witnesses say something went wrong when a silver truck pulled in front of the bus, which couldn't stop in time. That's when the pickup and